at us. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Win Dummies podcast, episode number 67. I'm the normal host. Scoot on over here a little bit, Ronaldo. Smitty, coming to you live from Minneapolis, Minnesota, with Ronnie and I. We're going to have a great show tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about the Des Moines Challenge. We're going to talk about the the European disc golf event over the weekend. We're going to talk about what we've been experiencing here in Minnesota. We're going to look at the picks from last week, unfortunately.
I'm excited to do that, actually.
Yeah, and we're just going to talk some disc golf. So let me turn this TV off. And Ronnie, what are you thinking?
Man, so Smitty and I actually got a chance to go to the Des Moines Challenge on Saturday, right? We got to be part of the Beehive for a little bit and follow around the leaders, the lead group on Saturday, and had a good time, man. It was hot. It was hot as all get out, but watching them boys in person, I mean, you and I know that those guys are a different breed, but you kind of forget when you don't get to see it every day what those guys really look like up close.
Yeah, and that course in Des Moines is way more awesome than I ever anticipated it being watching on online all those years. I mean, the fairways were beautiful. The hills were awesome. The green complexes were great. Man, it was I think it's the best disc golf event I've just went and witnessed.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely for me, it's the best pro tour event I've been to for sure. But I made the comment to you, it's the best disc golf course I've ever set foot on. The course itself there's a half a dozen like dream style holes out there on one course, and it's I was taken aback by how much better the course is in person than even it looks like on TV.
Yeah, and Kevin, to answer your question, we got there just as Jake Hebenheimer was banging one off the face mask on the Beehive hole. And we got across the Beehive hole and up to hole one just in time to follow an old school card. We followed Big Germ and Yulee and Greg Barsby and
Parker Welk was a great card. We kind of circled that one on the way up there. If we could make it in time, that we gotta go watch these guys for a little bit. And it was a real good time.
Yeah, we watched the front about almost 9 holes with those guys, and then we circled back and watched 17 and a half holes, 16 and a half holes.
No, 17. We watched the second shots on 18. Well, we didn't walk all the way down on one. We could see what was happening. But,
yeah, we didn't walk down and back on 1 and 2. We watched that from the shade because we were dying. And then we watched the second shots on 18, and we said, we are out of here.
And you said we were dying, and the professionality of that tournament kept us alive, to be honest with you, because not only was there free water all over the place, but when we got out on the course following the lead group, there was a gator following behind that just kept refilling coolers of water and handing it out to both the participants and all the spectators. And their main goal was to just make sure that we didn't fall over on their property.
Yeah, and the Hive was fun. We only stayed there a little bit, but I thought they might be annoying and not well received by the players, but the players loved it, and it was fun.
We have a group, and I'll share it with the folks for the podcast, because I did take a video of all the group of Yulee and Germ and Greg teeing off. Those guys, the reception for those guys when they got there was amazing. The only person I think that I heard them go more wild for was Matty. Boy, Matty just played the whole crowd up. I mean, he was whooping them up. It was the Hive was a good time, man. I thought it was kind of gimmicky, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be into it, but it was dope.
Yeah, it was an important part of the course, actually, because as people were trying to walk in to get to hole one, they did a great job of directing traffic and keeping you out of the player's way. So yeah, Des Moines was fun. We'll talk a little bit about the tournament here in a little bit. Minnesota's been fun so far. We're playing we're both playing Blue Ribbon Pines, Kaposia on opposite days. Fun courses, fun, interesting courses. If we can throw the disc straight and make putts, I think we're both gonna be pretty fine. Yeah, Logan. Yeah. We'll get there, pal. We'll get there. Keep it up with the steak jokes. But yeah, Blue Ribbon Pines gets a lot of praise for being an amazing course, and it's a fun course. It's cool, but just the amount of property it's on is what was been the most shocking to us. We heard it was only on 40 acres, and it's really on top of each other, and it is in the middle of nowhere.
It is in the middle of nowhere. So, I mean, we've been watching coverage from that, videos from that place for as long as I've been playing disc golf, right? So, it's a very cool course. It's still probably, like they say, the best private course in the world. I'd be honest. I'd be lying if I didn't say that I came away from there a little underwhelmed, just because it'd been built up so much in my head that, and then you get there and like you see all these familiar like landmarks from the course, and what you don't realize is, like you said, they're all just like right there in one spot, and you kind of just feel like you got people on top of you all the time, and but there's some holes out there that are absolutely incredible too. Mm-hmm. So
yeah,
it's a cool place, and Kaposia is just a fantastic park style course. I mean, it's one of the best park style courses I've ever played.
It's a tough walk, man. It's like I don't know that there's a flat hole on the entire thing, and yeah, we played it almost twice. There's the stairway of death that we didn't go down today, because you pretty much go down the stairway of death and then up the trail of sure death if you haven't already died. So
if you haven't died yet, your calves will.
Yeah, so we skipped out on that. But let's get to it. Let's start where we always start. What's popping? What's been going on in the world of disc golf? And I want to get rid of this thingy bobber here. As we alluded to already, we had the European Disc Golf Championships. And if you're not a Disc Golf Pro subscriber, number one, you probably should be. Number two, you missed out on a heck of a show.
Yeah.
That was there was some
for two different reasons, right? For two different reasons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so let's take a little peek at what we got here. In the ladies division. Called a comeback? She was never out of it.
She was never out of it. Well, she was 5 back or so at one point on Saturday and made up a lot of ground late, but it was kind of nip and tuck all day Sunday. But those of you who know me kind of know I've become a pretty big Evelina fan.
She's easy to like.
She's such a likable lady, and I love her game. And now that she can make putts. And everybody needs to quit being so surprised when she wins. She's now a Grand Slam champion. She's a European champion again. Evelina's for real. Evelina is one of the 5 best players on the planet.
She might be the hottest woman in the disc golf field right now. I mean, you think she's a favorite at European Open and Worlds?
Oh, at the Beast?
Yeah. Well, that's where they're both at.
Yeah, at the Beast, I think she's the favorite for World. She's the defending champion already. She's won a European title on that course. I think there is a very finite group that has a chance, right? I think Evelina for sure. You throw in Holland Hanley, you throw in Kristen, and there's a couple others that are going to have a say in it. Silva for sure. Henna if she can make a 15-footer. But I think I go into that week thinking that Evelina is the favorite.
Yeah, I think the way Kristen has been talking in interviews and the way she's been playing over the last 3 weeks, I think that Evelina probably has to be the odds-on favorite. Well, guess we'll see when underdog. Oh, we won't get to bet.
We won't get to, but I know what you're saying, Kristen. I mean, it doesn't seem like her heart's really in it right now. She seems like I know she's got the injury and that's playing a big part of it, but she looks like she just really doesn't.
Yeah, and it looks like she's ready for a little
she needs a break for sure.
Break or vacation from it. All right, so it was a 2-lady race. The rest of them
18 shots.
Yeah, the rest of them had 0 chance.
Of course, Henna did lose, I think, 6 of those strokes to par on one hole. that everybody probably got a chance to get a peek of. So that was
she did two really good putts on those.
And she didn't make a bad shot in the process. So it's just bad luck.
Yeah, the last miss was a bad one, but the first two weren't necessarily her fault. This dude put on a show.
So I'll go right back to where you were talking about with Evelina. Is Little Nick the favorite when we head to the Beast here in a couple weeks?
No. Do I think he has a shot at winning? Yes. Am I going to call him the favorite? No, I think the favorite has probably got to be that tall, lanky son of a buck from Iowa. I mean, he won the European Open last year and has played on these two courses. Now, it depends. If you're talking European Open, which is in Estonia, I believe, at that festival course, or are you talking Worlds, which is what European Open was last year? I think Gannonburg's going to be tough to beat at the Worlds courses for sure.
I would agree with you. I mean, anyone. I think at this point, if you pick anyone other than Gannon to win a tournament, he's in it. Then you're going out on a limb. And he can't win every week. Of course, we'll get to what we saw this last weekend as an example, but he's the favorite. Now, the other course, there's a little more out of bounds. There's a little more. I got to be a little more strategic with the way I play, and that's, I mean, as we just saw this last weekend, that's what Nick does. He shot 32 under par on a weekend where a lot of the field was over par.
He won by 16.
And yeah, he won by 16 shots, and he made it look easy in the process.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Landon, to answer your question, how hard is Kaposia on a scale to 1 to 10? Two-sided answer. If you keep it in the fairway, it's not that hard.
But keeping it in the fairway is extremely difficult.
Yeah.
I would say for anybody that's not a really good professional, that course is the course that we play, Kaposia Gold, it has the potential to put a hurt on you. There's a couple holes that even a really good professional can make a big number on, and not throw a really terrible shot.
I don't think there's a gimme on the property. The only gimme is the par 4 that you tee out and go over the bushes and then down.
That one's pretty simple. Hole 13 is kind of just a straight downhill 330 footer. That one's, but that's what we're talking about. That's how difficult the course is. That you got very few automatic ones, and there's a whole lot of holes you can make double bogey on.
Yeah, if you're off, it's going to be really hard. If you're off, if you're hitting your lines, it's going to be going to be okay. This guy.
I don't think they're going to stop, to be honest with you, until we reveal that. So let's get to what happened with the men in Des Moines. That way Logan can have his fun.
All right, Des Moines Challenge. It was awesome.
I mean, I had a really fun weekend this weekend because the two ladies that I'm really gravitating towards the most are Cadence and Evelina. And not only that it happened for Cadence, but the way it happened for Cadence was amazing.
It was amazing.
It was there was a lot of people there talking about it when we were there. She was the talk of the golf course when we were there.
She's really good. She's good off the tee. She's confident on the green. I mean, if you look at the scores from the third round, she clutched up the last 4 holes and did exactly what she had to do to give herself a chance. And you always say it, pressure bursts pipes, and that's what got the hauling on 18.
Yeah, and part of that was that, and Kate, and she had made up a big gap on Cadence, right? She had played played unbelievable
7 down through 9
for 17 holes essentially, and she only made 1 poor shot on 18. Then it kind of led to other things that happened. That was more of a moment, the situation of the moment. But Cadence was real steady. She made a couple of bogeys in the middle, but she played great. She didn't do anything different than she'd done all week. She's just a really good player.
Yeah, and the score isn't reflective of the actual tournament because Holland did what she had to do to give herself a shot at playoff by trying to make from out of
Yeah,
bounds.
of course. Yeah.
So that
she could have laid up and made her 5 and lost by
Lost by
one
one.
shot, but she went. She's trying to win. She's a champion. She's trying to win the golf tournament. So.
for sure. Men's side. Well, hang on. Let's back up to that for a second. Are there any names on here surprising you?
I tell you what, dude, we got a good look at Rebecca Dawn. You get this sense that what we've already seen happening in the men's, which is it's the youth movement.
Mm-hmm.
We got a good glimpse of the youth movement this week because both of these ladies are barely old enough to drive, and I think only one of them's old enough to vote. So it's on. Rebecca Dawn is a player. She's a really, really good player, and I think we're gonna start seeing more and more of these ladies kind of see.
Yeah, I think you're right. We know about Haley Huber. She threw down the killer round last weekend. She's like 14 and went 1,010 or something.
Yep. The youth movement's coming.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. You guys are great.
Finally, man.
Yes.
Finally.
Yeah. And just the celebration and the emotion he was trying to hold in on 18, and the fact that people who had finished their round 2.5, 3 hours before him were there to congratulate him and party down with him. And man, what a great win for this dude.
Yeah, we were there on Saturday, and it seemed different on Saturday when we were there. As Ezra was locked in, it was eyes were forward the whole day. He wasn't. I mean, it's not that he wasn't acknowledging the fans, because he would certainly give the acknowledgement every time something happened. But right back in, it was laser focused the whole way, and to see that happen for him in the way, hell, I was almost getting emotional watching him come down the 18th, because you could see just coming out of him, and that was pretty great. I'm really happy for him. We had just talked a couple weeks ago. Is Ezra the best player to have never won a tournament on the Pro Tour? And now we can take him off that list. He's no longer. He's definitely no longer the best player not to have won, because he put it in this week. And I think that's the biggest question going forward. Does Ezra now start? Does he open the floodgates? Because he's a good enough player to win multiple times.
Yeah. Does he roll a few off and win 2 out of the next 5, which would be amazing for anybody at this time in the game? I mean, any win on there is a great win.
I mean, he's another one. When we start talking about the beast, Ezra looks like the kind of guy that can win on that golf course for sure. I mean, he's as long as anybody in the world, and all of a sudden he's one of the best putters on the planet, which is a big drastic change.
Yeah. I mean, they kept saying the last few weeks the best putter from Circle 2, but not just Circle 2, dude. He made, I guess the putt on 15 probably was Circle 2.
I think he was a little outside. I mean, he was like that 30, 36, 38 foot range.
That was an incredible putt at a much needed time.
At a time where it would have been okay to see him lay it up. Mm-hmm. He's up 2, but just steps up and bangs it.
And good thing he did, because 16 he got in trouble, and that was another incredible putt. 25 foot from a bush on a knee. That's great.
Yeah, he clutched up big time.
Yeah. And I would guess Brody was probably on his way home, but all these people that are I'm guilty of it too. I bagged on Brody going in, and he did exactly what I expected the first round. But that dude was an animal rounds 2 and 3. Yeah. I think he went 5 and 7.
Yeah, and nobody's been more critical of Brody than I have been. But we sat there and watched him sign autographs after his round on Saturday. Didn't blink an eye. Had time for the fans. So seems like he's probably a pretty good dude. That's just kind of lost his way a little bit in disc golf, but he had it Saturday. He had it going Saturday
and Sunday. He was hotter on Sunday. So, yeah, I mean, he's an easy target because he's so vocal and one-sided, I think, is a way to describe him.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he actually has the better of all disc golf in mind or if he just wants to have that platform to. But a lot of the things he says aren't wrong.
Nah, you got it. That's a fact. That's a fact.
So there was some Hammas, amazing third round, 14 down. Sully and Evan Smith, Goose.
Again, this is another one. Look at what we're looking at, man. We're looking at some guys that maybe have not played as well as we'd hoped throughout the year come up. But then again, you look right at the top. It's youth movement again, man. You got Evan Smith, Sullivan Tipton is like the same age as Gannon. And that kid is coming, and he's coming pretty fast. He's starting to put himself in the mix week in and week out. And so is Evan Smith. Evan Smith is probably the best player in the world that nobody really knows. The dude looks like he should be doing your taxes, but throws it 550 feet, looks as smooth as silk doing it, and makes everything from 40 in.
And doesn't seem to even be trying.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yes, it looks like the most effortless, I could care less scenario going on. So,
which brings me to my next thing, which you're probably not ready for. Who's next? Who's our next winner on the Disc Golf Pro Tour on the men's side? I think the women's side is there. Caden's winning was probably. I mean, it's going to be tough for. I can't think of another woman that's right there.
I mean, you look at someone, obviously not on the same level as Caden's, but maybe put herself in the mix a few times. Hannah Wynn. I mean, she could be one that could maybe. I just don't know if she has a skill set to hold.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna have to be the perfect storm.
Yeah, that's right. And I think you can throw Rebecca Cox.
Yeah,
in there.
Sure.
I think you can throw. Val's one. I think that's it. I think it's between those two on the ladies' side. I think it's gonna be tough for either one of them. Like you said, everything is just gonna have to happen perfect.
Yep.
And they're gonna need a lot of help. But I think the men's side, we have some dudes that are.
Well, look, this is a different question. Who do I think is the next one, or who do I want to be the next one, right? So we had kind of talked that maybe Andrew Marweed and Ezra were the two best players, that haven't won a tournament. But it's only a matter of time for a dude like Evan Smith.
Oh, yeah.
That dude is going to win. Sullivan Tipton's going to win. Who's the next one to do it? Don't know, but those two guys are going to do it. I hope Andrew Marweed is the guy, right? He's cool as the other side of the pillow, and he's really good with the fans, and he's a guy who's easy to root for too.
Yeah. So Ed's on the Evan Smith train. No, he doesn't. Yeah, so I think one of these guys will win. I don't know when it'll be, but like you said, it's going to happen. They're all too good. Those that don't know who these are, we got Marweed, Evan Smith, Goose. I put Noah Moines on there. He was in the top 10 this week, I think.
He's having a sneaky good season too.
Yeah. Bob Burridge, and then Sullivan Tipton. Who? That guy had made some putts that we saw.
That guy's just really good. I mean, you look at Sullivan Tipton and Evan Smith, and I was telling you the other day, 1040 is not an accident.
Yeah.
It was 10. I mean, Evan Smith's like 1042 or something like that. And Sullivan Tipton's right there. And I mean, even you ask Matty O. Matty O's like, that's the best player from Alabama now.
That's what I've been telling you for 2 years, he said.
So, and yeah, I think those are two guys it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, that wraps up the talk about past tournaments. We don't have a tournament coming up on the Disc Golf Pro Tour side that we're going to talk. I guess we got whatever's going on in Europe, but I'm not. I've got other things on my mind this week, so I'm not informed on what's happening there.
PCS, is that what's this week?
Give me Rick.
Look.
There we go.
There you go. Done.
Yeah, absolutely. But we did make some picks last week. And I'm a man of my word. This is going to hurt. Start with the sleeps. I went with Luke Taylor because Luke Taylor was going to destroy these longer courses and just do a great idea. You're getting a cheeseburger, kid, from the menu. And Logan went with his teammate, my teammate, Mr. Smith, as his sleep. And how did it play out? Well, I sucked.
And it was a gutsy pick by Logan. I mean, like Evans' best, I mean, his average finish has got to be in the teens somewhere. And he said, no, Evan's going to have a good week. And Evan had a good week.
Pretty sure his average finish is 15th, if I remember right. So Logan got that. And then we went to Shines. I think I'm done picking this guy.
I've been trying to tell you, man. You keep telling me every week what your picks are, what you're doing on your underdogs. Look, I mean, we both love Paul, but he's got to, I mean, let him do it first.
I'll probably pick him again. and Logan went with the hammer.
You're in, I'm sensing a theme here. I think you're in a bad spot. You're going to give yourself a yellow.
15th, top 15.
I think because you were beaten so badly, I think that's a little bit generous. But I guess it's hard to argue. We say this all the time. Top 15 of the Pro Tour was a good week.
That's right.
So we'll let a yellow slide. But you were beaten soundly.
Yeah, it hurt. It hurt.
Well, how would you know?
He wouldn't know. You had a shot to win it, but you got taken out. What?
I mean,
Ezra has struggled at Des Moines in the past.
I get it, but I mean, we've been doing this on the show a long time, man. And you know what you don't do. You don't pick guys for the stink that you think may win a golf tournament.
I almost lost last week too.
Yeah, you almost lost last week, and you went ahead and followed that up by really losing.
It's more fun.
The ultimate loss. You know, Eagle had a pretty good week. It was a good week, but at least it wasn't 3 greens to 3 reds. But it might as well be. It's going to cost the same.
Yeah, but the Bird had a great first round going. He was in it, and then what hole was that?
The island
17.
Yeah, the Iowa hole got him for either a 7 or a snowman.
I think it was a snowman. Yeah, he stunk it up and then didn't do. I mean, he did pretty good, but he didn't do
nothing special. But obviously, it was a better week than he's accustomed to. Right? It's better than his average week.
Yeah.
Logan, I guess the question is: are you a ribeye guy, or are you a strip steak, or are you prime rib?
He's gonna get chicken fingers.
Well, that'd be unfortunate.
I went to a Mexican restaurant once, and he ordered a hamburger at Casa Ramos. I'm pretty sure in Emporia. Stinking hamburger. All right. Well, short show. Oh, ribeye all the way. Great. I got a top tier price, Logan. This is going to be fun. Big deal or not a big deal? I don't have my little thing up, so I can't read it. But Ronnie, this is the talk of disc golf right now. And you and I have already talked about it a little bit, so I know your thoughts. But I think it'll be fun to talk about again. The World Anti-Doping Association is going to randomly be testing disc golfers at the Pro Worlds over there in Europe. And the PDJ sent out a warning. I called it a warning. It's not a warning. It was maybe a disclaimer is a better word.
Yeah, a heads up, a glorified heads up kind of.
Basically, that weed can be found in your system 30 days after a test, and they were 33 days out. Basically saying, hey, USA, lay off the ganj. So what do you think, man? Big deal or not a big deal?
Well, I think it's a very big deal, right? We've talked about this in a variety of different situations about what on this show. Do you want to be a professional? Or do you not want to be a professional, right? If you want to be a professional, then you can do whatever you want to do during your recreational times, right? That's up to you. Cannabis is now legal in, what do we say, 23 states in the union now.
20-something.
Recreationally, and several more from a medical situation. But look, you can drink as much beer as you want to, but you can't drive a car, right? If you want to go to Europe, which has much more stringent anti-doping laws than we do in the United States, if you want to go there to play, and that's where Worlds is, then you're gonna have to prepare yourself, right? So it's one of those situations. To me, it's what do you want to do? Do you want to have fun, or do you want to go have a chance to win a world championship? Because if you're going to go want to have a chance to win a world championship, you're gonna have to play by the rules. I mean, they locked up Brittany Griner for a year and a half for possession, and they take it very seriously over there.
Yeah, they do. And so you think it's a big deal?
I do think it's a big deal. I think it's a big deal that it's being enforced, right? It's kind of a no big deal to me, where like this should be just like what you do anyway. But it's a big deal to me that it's actually being they're doing something about it now. And if you were to get over there and test positive for whatever they might be testing for, and they have to send you packing back to the United States, that'd be a pretty awful way to
be pretty embarrassing.
It'd be pretty embarrassing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's, I don't know how to put this in words. I think that it's these guys that are from these states where marijuana is legal, and like you said, no different than a group of dudes going to a bar and drinking beer until 2 a.m. and just getting loud and obnoxious and crazy and beat up by a bar bouncer or whatever happens. Get a black eye, show up on your podcast, turn the light off type deal. Versus these guys that are smoking weed in their van or wherever, legally or illegally. Trying to tell me these guys aren't popping a top and driving drunk? I don't know. So I think what bothers me about it, the whole thing, if this was the rule and we knew about this well in advance, then I'm with you. I'm like, look, dudes, this is it. Boom. You got to do it. But to pop it on them right now after they've made all these plans and whatever, I mean, still, I guess, they still have the time to not worry about it moving forward.
Yeah, and that's the average time too, right? It stays in some people's systems considerably longer. I don't like the timing of it, but I think that makes it even a bigger deal, right? Because now you're kind of up against it. Like, you got to make decisions now if you haven't already done so. And but to like Landon's comment right there, what do we want disc golf to be, right? Because look at a scenario. Every time your favorite athlete in professional team sports in the United States gets a DUI, you hear about that on SportsCenter, the national news, and everything, right? And if we want disc golf to be one of those sports, then there's an element of the professionality and the accountability even to your personal lives that's going to have to take place at some point. And I know I would love to see disc golf get there at some point, right? And it's taken leaps over the last almost 30 years I've been involved in it, but there's still a subculture involved. And whether you take part in it or not, that's really up to you. And like I said, it's legal. You can do it if you want to, man. I'm not here to tell you can't, but every decision we make in our lives, there's pros and cons and consequences.
Always consequences.
So,
yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, we're talking about people who weren't responsible enough to get to their whole 5 minutes beforehand, and we're getting stroked week after week after week until they realize these dudes aren't playing around. Like, I wonder if there's a group of these guys headed over there like, it's not going to affect me, or I'm not going to get popped. They can call it random all they want, but I don't think they have to say, yeah, we went to random.org and James Conrad's name came up.
Yeah, I mean, but let's remember, we're not only testing for cannabis, most likely, right? I mean, disc golf, there's big money in disc golf now. You need to be making sure that PEDs are not part of the equation. I mean, we're not just talking about cannabis. There are other factors at play.
Yeah, true.
So,
but I think we all just know and accept the fact that, I mean, I was at a disc golf course just 2 hours ago, a little 9-hole course, and in Minnesota, weed is legal, and they were all just blazing up every hole. So
yeah,
I
I don't like the timing of the announcement, right? But it is what it is. They can do whatever they want. They could have done not said anything to anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think somebody gets popped?
I want to say no, but I think it's gonna. I want to say no, but I think I'm going to be wrong about that.
I'm with you. That's where I'm at. So I think it's a big deal, bro. I think we're going to see something happen.
Yeah, there you go. Landon. Yeah, you better. I hope you're ready to play well and take a piss on Saturday.
Well, wouldn't be the first time. When I was at National Track Meet, I had to go pee in a cup. I'm like, really? I just got 8th place.
Well, and that's the comment that we saw Jen Allen today, and that's the comment that she made was, if it's random, then why did Evelina have to go take a test immediately after she hit an ace on a par 4?
Did she? Is that true?
I think that's what she said. Yeah. Now, whether that happened or not, but that's what Jen Allen was saying. I don't know whether it's true or not, but if that's the case, that to me, that questions the randomness of it. But again, that shows you that it's not just, we're not just talking about weed or whatever it is, that they might be doing this to ensure the fairness of the sport as well.
Yeah. So, yeah, you're absolutely right, and it'll be interesting. It'll be fun to see how it plays out over the next few weeks for sure. So, guys, shout outs.
Yeah, man, a bunch of people have already reached out this week, wishing us good luck, and we certainly appreciate that. But other than that, man, just ready to go, ready to get after it. 2:25 tomorrow afternoon.
2:58 for me. We are opening up our own betting site. What you guys don't know is Ronnie and I tomorrow morning are going to a object type course with these funnel baskets, and we're playing, is it 9 or 18?
I don't know whether we're playing 9 or 18 holes or not.
We're playing disc golf with lids, Zephyrs, into the most awesome baskets you've ever seen. Who you got winning?
We'll see what everybody says. It looks like fun. I actually even took my Zephyr out for the practice round today so I could get a few throws in, and we got into a group of 5, and I didn't want to hold up the process, so I'm going to be out of practice with the lids.
Logan, that's not happening,
buddy. I picked up my I picked up my rental car today. Daddy's finding a casino or two. Sorry.
You don't gotta worry about this guy. I like my money too much. And Ed's headed to Norway.
Oh, that's awesome. We played with a couple of Norwegians today, yes, actually at Composure practice round. Yep.
Yeah. Well, Ed, there might make scorekeepers pee in cups as well, so keep it clean, my friend. And with that said, see y'all next time. Hey, all you that interacted in the chat, thanks for doing that. It makes it so much fun. And man, share this out to your friends. Let people see it. That was a fun show with Ronnie. And heck yeah, man. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.
Later.